Interstate 25. That's what we're doing today, guys. Interstate 25 goes from Las Cruces, New Mexico, up to Buffalo in Wyoming. It passes through a lot of major cities and it's right near the Rockies. It's really beautiful and it goes to Denver, Albuquerque, Colorado Springs, and Cheyenne. So it's a really great route, and yeah, let's get right into it. As usual, I just want to ask you guys if you guys could please consider liking this video if you really enjoy it, and maybe even subscribing if you really enjoy this. We've been getting a lot of great views, so thank you guys. Start here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, where we see that I-25 starts out at I-10. So we see that it's really hot. It's really like in the middle of a small town. We're roughly 20 miles north of El Paso. So yeah, just really small at the beginning. So we're going to do northbound signage first and look at the route. So we can see here that at I-10 West, it is I-10 West from Acelia and Las Cruces, not good at all. And I-25 North is for Albuquerque and Las Cruces, so that's more doable. And going east on I-10, I-10 is signed for El Paso, and I-25 is signed for Albuquerque. That's good. But then we also get this weird side sign that says Almaguerdo. I hope that's not really going to become the primary soon. In the Las Cruces area, I-25 is signed north for Albuquerque. And here, when I-25 meets US 70, which is a highway in the area, we see that I-25 is still signed north for Albuquerque, which is good news. And at random interchanges outside of the Las Cruces area, as we continue heading north, it is still Albuquerque that is signed. In the truth or consequences area, in the middle between Las Cruces and Albuquerque, we start seeing Socorro appearing with Albuquerque, which as long as Albuquerque is the primary, I think I'm okay with that, but still should just be Albuquerque. This I do not like at all. Why are they signing Socorro? This is here in San Antonio, New Mexico, just south of Socorro. This should not be signed. It should definitely be Albuquerque from here. Here in the 9,000 population town of Socorro, we see that I-25 goes back to being signed for Albuquerque. Good job. South suburbs of Albuquerque, I-25 is still signed north for Albuquerque. Now, let's talk about the route I-25 takes to get to Albuquerque. So it starts out from Las Cruces and just goes to very small towns as Truth and Consequences and Socorro. And then it starts in the suburbs. So it's a pretty boring route with a lot of desert. It's really hot along the way as well. After going through Albuquerque, I-25 starts heading northeast and hits Santa Fe, Las Vegas, New Mexico, Raton, and then crosses the border into Colorado. Here in Albuquerque, I-25 is signed north for Santa Fe. This is in downtown where we're meeting I-40. So Santa Fe is a good job. It's the capital. It's very important. But what did I-40 sign for? Santa Rosa and Gallup? Man, oh man, that could really use some work. In the northern suburbs of Albuquerque, we are still signed north for Santa Fe. Here in Santa Fe, we are signed north for Las Vegas. No, that is not Las Vegas, Nevada. That is Las Vegas, New Mexico. Should not be signed. It's a small city, no importance, and it's just simply the driver's lost. And if you wanted Las Vegas, you should have took an I-40. After that, we are concurrent with US 84 and US 285. So now here where US 285 goes south off of I-25, we are signed north for Glorieta and Las Vegas. That is even worse. Why Glorieta? That should probably be Colorado Springs, or actually it should be Denver. Here where US 85 leaves us, we are now signed for Las Vegas still. Not a good idea at all. In Las Vegas, New Mexico, we are signed north for Raton, which makes no sense coming northbound. Southbound makes a little bit more sense. There's a cutoff to Amarillo, but northbound, that should definitely not be there. Here in Raton, we are signed north for Trinidad, which New Mexico is really getting more provincial. We are now being signed for a small Colorado town that's just across the border. Really? Why do this? While crossing the border, at least I could not find a Welcome to Colorado sign. They just have a county sign, and a Raton Pass sign. And also we're right in Trinidad. We enter the city limits according to Google as soon as we cross the border. So once we're in Colorado, there aren't really many exits till Trinidad. They're all pretty much mountain trails. So here in Trinidad, we are signed for Pueblo, which isn't much better. Come on, Colorado, sign your biggest city, or even sign Colorado Springs from this point. You'll be fine. But they're really playing along with New Mexico's games, and they're just signing small towns. Really? Why? Here in Pueblo, which actually has traffic lights and is a pretty decent-sized town, we are signed for Colorado Springs, which deserves to be a control city. So yeah, no Denver, but at least we got a Colorado Springs. Small win, but we'll take it. And here's the route of I-25 through southern Colorado. We see it starts from the south, Raton, and then we cross the border into Colorado. We hit Trinidad, go up a lot, and then we hit Pueblo, and then we go north even more, and we're gonna hit Colorado Springs soon. Westbound from I-25, you can see some mountains. They're gonna get bigger because we're near the Rockies at this point. So yeah, I'll show you more mountains and southbound. But yeah, these are tons of cool mountains. In Colorado Springs, we meet US 24, which is the main other highway that in the area, and we are assigned for Denver. Finally, thank the Lord, we are finally signed for Denver. Woodlands Parks is for US 24, so it's good that we're finally signed for Denver, and nice. Inside the south of Denver, we meet the first real Denver highway, which is the 470 loop, which was never completed. So we see it's time for Lyman and Grand Junction. Finally, good signing in the state. And on that 470, we can see that we are still signed for Denver. After that, we meet I-25's only spur route in its whole journey, I-225, which is going to 70 and is signed for Aurora and Lyman. We've seen a lot of Lyman signage, 470 and this. Why is Lyman being signed so much? And it's also signed for the airport. Here in downtown Denver, we meet I-70 signed for Lyman again, and Grand Junction and the airport. And quickly after that, we also meet I-76 signed west for Grand Junction and east for Fort Morgan. Not a big fan of that. Right after that exit for I-76, we meet US 36 going to Boulder. So now we are assigned I-25 north for Fort Collins, which is okay, could be better. And just like that, we're meeting E470 again. So it's this time signed for Bluefield and Lyman. Lyman's always there, man. And it this time it looks a lot more rural when we meet it, but yeah. Look at I-25 through northern Colorado. We see that it goes through Colorado Springs and heads up north and then goes through pretty much central Denver. And then after that, we can see that Fort Collins is off of I-25, which is the reason I don't know why it's signed. And you can see Cheyenne and Denver aren't really that far away. So I'm wondering, why don't they just sign Cheyenne? So I really don't think we need Fort Collins to be signed, as Cheyenne is more important. And at random interchanges, we are assigned north for Fort Collins. Soon we arrive at the main Fort Collins exit, Colorado 14. And from that exit, we are rightly assigned for 25 North Cheyenne, which is good job. I think that should have been from Denver, but it's good we got it here. At random interchanges, the Cheyenne thing sticks up. And just like that, we enter Wyoming. I had to get this close because there was a truck blocking it. I'm sorry, guys, but welcome to Wyoming. And in Wyoming, we are still signed north for Cheyenne, which is good job there. Let's take a look at I-25's route in Wyoming. So we can see that it hits Cheyenne pretty early in because Cheyenne is near the southern border. After that, it goes north, hits Casper, and then ends at I-90 in Buffalo. Yeah, I-25 doesn't really have a lot of big cities, guys, so yeah, it's a really simple route compared to like I-5 or even I-97 for that matter. Even I-97 has more like importance than this does, but this route is still very important to all the people in the area, and unlike I-97, actually covers a lot of ground and helps the communities and small farms along the way. And here at the southwestern edge of Cheyenne, we meet I-80, which is signed for Sydney and Laramie. Laramie's okay, but I don't know what Sydney's up to. And we can also see that we are assigned north for Casper on I-25, which is probably the biggest city we're going to pass in the remaining area. So yeah, good job there. And here in the Cheyenne area, we are assigned north for Torrington and Casper. Torrington is because of US 85. So good signing there. Casper is definitely the right choice. Here in Casper, this is at one interchange. I'll check another. But at this interchange, we are north for true traffic. There's nothing signed, which I don't really get that. This is not really necessary. There, they could even Buffalo, Gillette, Billings, they could sign something, but definitely not nothing. That sign seemed to be a one-off thing with the north and southbound because Douglas is never signed again. So now we are signed north for Buffalo. I would rather see Billings on that sign since that's the way the traffic would be going because there is a cutoff to go the other way in I-90, so I would rather see Billings on that sign. And we can see that now, as we get more north, we can see that we're starting to get winter weather on Google Street View, and we can see that sometimes this road is closed. And at random entries, we are assigned for Buffalo, which at this point it makes even more sense as there was another cutoff to get to Gillette. So I think now we should definitely be signed for Sheridan if you want to stay in state, but definitely Billings at this point. And we actually have exits to go into Buffalo before we get to I-90. So from here we are signed north for Sheridan, which is what it should have been from Casper, and it could even be Billings at this point. And right after that sign, the next exit is actually 90 East. So we end I-25 at I-90 with it being signed west for Sheridan and east for Gillette. Probably should be Billings and Rapid City, but those are okay. So yeah, that's our end of our journey northbound, and you can see there's still some more winter weather. Before we turn around and head southbound, I want to bring to your attention that these two U.S. highways, US 85 and 87, are concurrent with I-25 for a long time. US 85 is concurrent with I-25 for stretches in New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. And US 87 is concurrent with I-25 throughout Colorado, in Raton, and in much of Wyoming. Alright, so just like that, we are going to head southbound, and we can see that from both ways, I-90 signs 25 south for Casper, which is a good job. From this far, Cheyenne is not worth it, so Casper is the right move. And at random interchanges, we are indeed signed south for Casper. And here in Casper, we are signed south for Cheyenne, so that's a good job there. And here in Cheyenne, we hit our first roadblock of I do not think I-25 should be signed south of Fort Collins. Northern makes sense since that's a Colorado town. They're trying to sign their own towns, which are kind of big. But southbound Denver is the bigger city. They're both Colorado, so I really think there should probably be Denver here. No Fort Collins going southbound. This sign is from 2007, and we can see here that I-25 is signed south for Denver, and I-80 is signed for Omaha. Wow. This is a good sign, but now let me show you what the sign looks like now. But now it is signed for Fort Collins, and I-80 is signed for Sydney, so they really made stuff worse. That should just be Denver there. And in Wyoming, we are still signed south for Fort Collins. Welcome to colorful Colorado. Here in Colorado, they are signing it themselves south for Fort Collins. Why would you do that? Maybe Wyoming doesn't want to sign Denver, but here it should definitely be sound south for Denver because that is a bigger attraction and it's in state too. So why are we signing Fort Collins? Really? Come on, Denver. Come on, Colorado. Why are all three of these DOTs so bad? Colorado 14, the main Fort Collins route, we are finally signed south for Denver. Thank you. Now we meet our first Denver highway of the E470, signed again for Lyman, bro. Why Lyman? And soon after that, we meet US 36, which surprisingly we have an exit to, and I-270, which we have an exit to in this direction. But it's signed for Aurora and Lyman, bro. There should probably be some mention of I-76 East on that, because that is the best way to get to it, because I-25 only has access to I-76 West. After that, we get the exit for I-76 West, and we can see that junction I-70 is coming in a few minutes, so yeah. And just like that, we have the exit for 70, which is signed for Lyman and Grand Junction. Lyman, I do not understand why. Off of I-70, we can see that we are signed now south for Colorado Springs, which going this way makes a lot more sense, and it's a good move. And just like that, we soon meet I-225 again, signed north to 70, and also signed for Lyman and Aurora. Why Lyman? And here at the southern tip of Denver, we meet 470 again, signed for Lyman and Grand Junction. Why Lyman? But we also are still signed south for Colorado Springs, so good job there. A pretty nice view of Colorado Springs on I-25 as we head into town. And here we meet US 24 again, and you can see those beautiful Rockies in the background. But we are signed south for Pueblo, which makes more sense in this direction. I would like to see Santa Fe or just New Mexico or Albuquerque, but I'm actually okay with Pueblo in this direction because it's a fairly big city. It makes sense. Now here in Pueblo, we are signed south for Trinidad. I am not okay with that at all. I have to say Trinidad is just being provincial. We've seen it in every state now: New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. They're all super provincial. But this should probably be Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Albuquerque, or even Amarillo, because in Raton there is a pretty important cutoff to Amarillo. So I would be fine with any of those being signed, but I am not okay with Trinidad. And here in Trinidad, We are now heading south for across the border into Raton. Not a good idea there either. Again, I'd like to see maybe Amarillo. So, are you going to mention Raton at all? Maybe mention Amarillo, Santa Fe, or Albuquerque. But why Raton? This is getting super provincial, so I'm not really happy with this at all. Welcome to New Mexico, and this sign is actually not. This sign is from 2018 because they got rid of this bridge recently. Don't know why. If you guys know why, comment down below. But they got rid of this bridge, so now there's no welcome to New Mexico sign, just some weird port of entry sign. So yeah, now we're in New Mexico. Here in Raton, we say adios to US 87, which has been with us since pretty much Buffalo. And we can see, but this is also the exit Amarillo. I should probably mention somewhere because all trucks won't be taking this way, but most cars will be taking this way from Denver to Amarillo. They'll be getting off here. So yeah, this is the way Amarillo and we're in Raton. And at the exit, we are signed south for Springer. I do not know what that is. That's probably even smaller than Las Vegas, New Mexico. I don't know why they're signing it for Springer. However, Springer is not here to stay, as at the very next interchange, we are signed south for Las Vegas, which is better than Springer, but still should not be there. Should probably be, since there's a cutoff to Santa Rosa soon, Santa Rosa maybe, but probably Santa Fe and Albuquerque. Finally, here in Las Vegas, we get signed for Santa Fe. Finally, that probably should have been there since Raton or even Trinidad, but I don't know why it took us this long to get here. And here in Santa Fe, we are assigned for Albuquerque. Nice. In the north side of Albuquerque, in the northern suburbs, we need New Mexico 423, which is a highway in the area, but we are now signed south for Las Cruces. I think this is too early. We should still be signed for Albuquerque. We aren't in the downtown yet. And Las Cruces isn't that big anyways, but I understand them signing it. That makes sense, but still, it should probably just be Albuquerque from here. Here near downtown Albuquerque, we meet I-40 once again, and it's signed for Santa Rosa and Gallup. Nope, not good there at all. But we are signed south for Las Cruces, and that is the right choice from here. Good job. Here in the area of Albuquerque, we are still signed south for Las Cruces. However, at one exit, we do get I-25 signed south for Los Lunes. I do not know why this is like a Socorro thing again, but this should definitely just be Las Cruces at this point. We are south of Los Lunas. We get back to the nightmare of Socorro, which is not good at all. And Socorro sticks. Finally, here in Socorro, we go back to Las Cruces. I don't know why they changed it after Albuquerque. It should definitely just be Las Cruces all the way down. Here in Las Cruces, we meet US 70, signed for Las Cruces and Alamogordo. So we are now signed south for El Paso, which is from here. It's a good point. We can see this is exit 6, so we only have 6 miles left of road in this uh, state, and that's the end of the road. So we can see that we're going to be meeting I-10 pretty soon. So El Paso is definitely the right move because it makes more sense. It's the bigger city, and just the way the angle shows that most people would be heading towards El Paso from here. And here we meet exit 1 for University Avenue, and we can see that we're going to get the options of 10 East for El Paso and 10 West for Deming. So Deming's not good, but El Paso's great. And just like that, we meet the end of I-25 and I-10 once again for El Paso and Deming. So that wraps up I-25. Alright, so you can see here that we have to do our control cities before we can go. So for northbound, I'd say it'd be Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and then Colorado Springs deserves to be a secondary going northbound, and Denver, of course, is primary. Then just Denver. I'm thinking that Fort Collins is okay since it's a pretty big Denver city. So then that would be secondary. Cheyenne would be primary, and then we go with Cheyenne, and then after that Casper, and then after that I'd say Buffalo is fine to be a secondary, and I would go Sheridan as a primary just because it's in-state, and after that it'd be Sheridan Billings. So yeah, that's northbound. For southbound, I would start off with Casper, then go Cheyenne, no Fort Collins going southbound. Denver is just too big, so then Denver, and then I would go Colorado Springs because it's pretty big, and then Pueblo should be a secondary. I think Amarillo should be the primary just because that cutoff, that's pretty important for all traffic going between Denver and Amarillo. And then after that, I would say that we would be going straight to Santa Fe, and then Albuquerque, Las Cruces, and finally El Paso. So let's go over the best and worst control cities on this interstate. So first, we have the best, which are Denver, followed by El Paso in Las Cruces, and then we have Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Colorado Springs, and Cheyenne. And then the worst ones are probably they're pretty bad. First, the worst of them all, Las Vegas, New Mexico. It's really bad, really misleading. And then after that, we have Socorro, And then we have really bad. This I don't like any of these. We have Raton and Trinidad, and then last but certainly not least, we have Los Lunas. None of these deserve to be on this interstate at all at any point. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching this 20-minute long video on I-25. Hope you guys appreciated it, and yeah, make sure if you liked it, you liked the video, and subscribe. And yeah, make sure you also submit the interstate polls. We have posted 3 of them. We've posted I-20 versus I-5, that is our quarterfinal one, and we've also started the next brackets. I-14 versus I-22, and I-24 versus I-12. Make sure you guys go ahead and vote on those. Thank you guys, and see you in the next one.